Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up now. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up now.
Okay, there we go. Okay. That was weird. Sorry about that, guys. So sorry. So sorry. Sorry about that. Vincent just called. Thanks, Vincent. Okay, so my I don't know. It was plugged in. I just unplugged it and plugged it back in and it worked. So I should come on and like do like this so I could see my bubble, move before. But I don't want you guys to like have to see. I don't know. I don't know. I should just read the chat instead of I went to the top of the chat so I could start greeting you guys. That's what I usually do. So, but sorry about that. So let me just start again. It's fine. It's fine. I didn't really say much other than hello and hi and how you doing. So that's all. I won't make you go through the whole process of what I was talking about earlier. But no, I just said, it's spring, it's April the 21st, and I said my days are all confused. So if you were reading my lips, that's what I was saying. That's funny. If you could read my lips, that'd be really funny. And I'll welcome you guys in now. But thank you for joining me again. If you're joining me for another live, if this is your first time here, hey, sometimes we're muted. It happens. Doesn't happen too often, but it does happen. So we just got to fix the sound, and here we are. Here we are. Hello, Mary Beth. Hello, Ladybug. It's good to see you, Mary Beth. It's good to see you too, Ladybug. But I feel like Mary Beth hasn't really been in the chat that much. But you were in here last night. Hey, Courtney. Oh, past this morning. Oh, that's so sad, Ladybug. I'm sorry to hear about your birds. I was just talking about it. I said that if anyone's bird watchers, let me know. Oh, that's so sad because you guys lost two in the beginning too. How many birds? How many egglets do you have? Where do you like? How many does it? I should know this. Being an Eagles fan, I should know that. Hey, DM, how you doing? Talking about the birds. I got another. I had a pigeon, made babies. They left. It was like a whole family. The dad would sit on the banister and watch over. Now I got one. She's just like feral or something. She's just up there hanging out by herself. I don't know. I need to like. Vincent looked up if we should feed him, and he said don't because like all of them will come to you. And I thought that was pretty funny. Hey, Mandy. Hey, wandering orphan. I've been wondering where you were. You tripped down the stairs. Oh my goodness. I saw your short video. I meant to comment on it the other day with your dogs. Your dogs are huge. Yeah, did you get any injuries? I did that once. I fell down the stairs. I was on my way to a funeral, and I had to go down into this basement. We lived in this apartment. I hated it. And we had to go into this basement, and it was like a dungeon. That was where the laundry was. And I was just running. I wasn't thinking. It was like 7:30 in the morning. I wasn't thinking. Yeah, I fell and busted my butt. Hey, Crafty One. Hey, Citizen Sleuth. Hey, Get to the Ducking Point. Hey, Triple L. Hey, Pete. Hey, Ashley. Good to see ya. How's your new home? Hey, Poindexter. And if I miss anybody, just scream at me at the end. And there where I was muted. Hey, Aries. Dr. Aries, plastic food surgeon of the green team. Oh my gosh. Hey, Chatty. I might need your services one of these days. And thanks everyone for saying I was muted. I'm glad you guys said that. Vincent called. He was like, she's probably looking at the top of the chat, so he must have knew. Welcome on in, everybody. But anyway, hey, Squeaky Wheel. Hey, Jet Set J. I'm gonna have to give you guys my phone number. Mary Beth and Ladybug, in case anything ever happens, you could just always call or something. Hey, Wicked. Hey, Cheryl. Yeah, lip reading tonight. So we'll get into it. It's not going to be too long of a live compared to our other lives because Maddie's parents haven't really talked a whole lot, but the interviews that they gave are just very, very sweet. They're very sweet. So, oh, thank you, Chatty. That's so nice. Hey, Jenny. Welcome in, everybody. Hey, Willows. All my regular people. Trashy dry beggars. Hello. Hey, Dawn. Hey, Mandy. Hey, Cheryl. Oh, I hate that you're still sick. That's the worst. Oh, okay. So you have two of them. Oh, so you have like two that are your favorite. Okay. Hey, Michael. Well, I'm naming my birds. The first two were Sunny and Cher. And then I named them Chaz and Cassidy. If you know, you know. Because they had 2 birds. They had 2, I said, so one's a boy, one's a girl. And not, you know how like they had, yeah. So then we have this new one, and I named her Adele. I don't know why. I just feel like every time I go out there, I want to go, hello, it's me. Like, you know, I just want to sing that song to her. Hey, Shells. It's good to see you guys. Okay, I'm going to get to the bottom. I know I am. AJ Life Jacket. I like that. Yeah, Maddie's dad hurts my heart. It's me too. Me too. There's just, I don't know what it is. Like, and her mom finally came out and did an interview. It's been like a few months ago, but I don't know if it's because Maddie was their only child. And then we heard from, you know, the Gonzalez family that every time they dropped Maddie off, sorry, to go to Kaylee's house, they would walk in with her. So like, man, I can't, like, my throat's like acting up. But they would like walk in with her and every time, like every single time, and you know, and just be like, okay, you know, it's everything's cool here. Like, you know, just like they were like kind of like helicopter parents, but in an adorable way. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure she's probably like, okay, mom and dad, but you know, I still think that I think it's adorable. Um, but I did want to read actually this before we get started on Maddie's case. It has to do with Zana. So on all the lives, I wanted to read the obituaries that they had out for the victims, and I didn't read Xana's last night. So since we did hers, we did all the interviews with Xana's like mom and dad on last night's live. I figured I just put this in here. That way it's read, because I don't really know how to go back and edit my lives and put it in. And then we'll get to Maddie's case. So, hey, Matcha Chi, how are you doing? Coming in here with the $1.99 super sticker. I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thanks, Garrett. I appreciate that. I have an early doctor's appointment tomorrow, so I'm hoping I can roll out of bed and I'll still look this good, but I probably won't. I won't. So Zana Kernodle, of course, 20 years old. This is one of my favorite pictures of her, by the way. I just think she's just so pretty. She looks like you can see her dad a lot in her, but you can definitely see her mom as well. But I don't know. When I look at her, I see a lot of Jeff in her. So Zana Kernodle of Post Falls, Idaho, sadly passed away far too soon, November 13th, 2022, at the age of 20. Zana was born in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, at Kootenai Health Hospital on July 5th, 2002. Zana grew up in Post Falls and was a talented gymnast as a child. She attended Post Falls Middle and High School, where she played volleyball, track, and soccer until she graduated in 2020. During high school, she worked at Texas Roadhouse and went on to attend the University of Idaho, where she majored in marketing and was an active member of Pi Beta Phi sorority and the Vandal Solutions sales team. When she wasn't participating in these activities, she was working at her part-time job at Mad Greek Restaurant in Moscow, Idaho. Zana loved her dog Shoeshine, enjoyed EDM music, going to concerts, spending time with her friends, and going on family trips with her sister and father. When she was little, she loved spending time on her grandma and grandpa's farm and summers at the river. Zana was someone who was loved dearly by her family, friends, and classmates. She was a very positive and outgoing person who went out of her way to make everyone feel welcome. Her desire to live life to the fullest and contagious sense of humor has made a lasting impression on all those who knew her. Zana was starting to become the woman she was destined to be, and the world will be a lesser place without her. Zana is survived by her father, Jeff Kernodle, her mother, Kara Northington, sister Jasmine, and brother Elijah. She is also survived by aunts and uncles, Sparky and Kim Kernodle, Elaine Wilkinson, Ken and April Kernodle, Wayne Kernodle, and many cousins, Terrence Northington, Ryan Northington, Mike Northington, Huey Northington, and many other cousins. We will miss her very much and hope that we can all carry a piece of her vibrant spirit now and for always. All are welcome to attend a service for Zana, Ethan, Madison, and Kaylee at 11 a.m. Friday, December 2nd at Real Life Ministries in Post Falls, Idaho. So that was all. all that they wrote there, but I wanted to read that out to you guys. And I wanted to also put myself down here so you guys can see the articles a little bit better. My little throat is like giving out on me tonight. I'm gonna put up a picture of some pictures of Maddie, and then I'm just gonna write, or I wrote some stuff, so I'm just gonna read over what I wrote about her. And then we'll get into the interviews. And if I missed any interviews, I don't think I did, but if I do miss any interviews, especially because we're going to come up on Kaylee's case next, or on Kaylee's interviews next, uh, let me know if I miss any, and I'll try to make sure I go find them. So, oh, thank you, Shells. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. Thanks for supporting the channel. Hey, Leah. Um, maybe the sound is better now. I'm gonna put the sounds better now, and then I'm gonna put it on the screen. I don't know if she won't see it on the screen because she's not this close, but she'll see it in the chat. Just keep on coming. The sound's better. Thanks, Shells. That's really nice. Okay. So this is of course Maddie and her father. And I didn't see this picture. I've seen a picture similar, but not this one in particular. And I thought this one was a really nice picture of them. Madison Mogen, known as Maddie, was a 21-year-old marketing major at the University of Idaho. She was tragically killed on November 13th, 2022, along with 3 other students and 3 other friends, Kaylee Gonzalez, Zana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. It happened in a stabbing at an off-campus home in Moscow, Idaho. The suspect, Bryan Kohberger, he was a former PhD student at the University of Washington, was arrested in December of 2022 and charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of burglary. Maddie was remembered for her vibrant personality, love of the color pink, and her sense of humor. She worked as a server at the Mad Greek restaurant in Moscow, where she and Zana Kernodle were known for their joyful presence. The two have been close friends since childhood, and she was also very close friends with Kaylee, of course. In May 2023, the University of Idaho awarded Maddie her bachelor's degree in marketing. Her parents, Karen and Scott Laramie, accepted the degree on her behalf during this commencement ceremony, receiving a standing ovation from the community. To honor Maddie's memory, her family established Maddie May Day. That is on May 25th every year, and it encouraged people to perform a random act of kindness in her name. The initiative gained widespread support, with individuals sharing stories of good deeds and donations made in her honor. And we heard a lot of those the last couple of years. So, a joint celebration of life for Maddie and Kaylee Gonzalez was held in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho in December 2022. The event highlighted the deep bond between the two friends and the family's profound impact on the loss of their families in the community. Maddie's legacy continues to inspire acts of kindness and remembrance, ensuring that her spirit lives on in the hearts of those who knew her and those who didn't know her. So, and then this, of course, is her and Kaylee. And then we'll go over this towards the end. Okay. So the first, like, not, and this isn't like an interview, but the first time we ever heard her parents speak. So her parents are divorced, but we heard her dad speak at the vigil. So I'm gonna play that video first. That way, because it's just part of I feel like part of the interviews, and we'll get to know Ben Mogen. Now, if you guys haven't heard these, get some tissues. If you've heard these, get some tissues, because it's, all thanks Machichi, you're the best. Because he'll make you cry. He's a hurt father. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play it.
And when they told us we were all gonna be,
it's kind of low. Let me see if I can find. I know that they were low, but I should get a better one than this. Let me see. I had one up. Here we go. Okay. Oops, sorry. Let me go back to his part. Oh, yeah. Okay. There we go. That one was like super low. I knew I had one up earlier that was a little bit higher, so this should be it.
And when they told us we were all gonna be talking, I was like, man, I hope they don't have me talk after him. He's really good at talking. But Madison, Maddie May, she was the first granddaughter, grandkid of any of her grandparents. She was Karen and my only child that we ever had, and so she got, everything she ever did was such a big deal, and she was just such a happy, such a great kid, such a perfect little baby, and so just smart and funny and beautiful. She was just nice to everybody, and when I would meet people, ever since she was first born, when I meet people, they say, tell me about yourself, or you're just trying to get to know someone. The first thing I'd say is, well, I have this daughter, and she's here's a picture of her. She's on the dean's list at college, and she works hard, and she has all these great friends in the sorority, and she's, I just would tell them all about Maddie. I wouldn't even, they walk away from it like, I don't know anything about him. We know all about his little girl though. And yeah, we love going to go see live music. That's always been my favorite thing to do. And so I started taking her to concerts when she was younger, and we saw some really good shows together. I'd take her and her friends sometimes. She was all upset when Mac Miller was going to come, and she couldn't get tickets, and it was all sold out, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And I entered all these radio station contests, and like the night before it happened, I won 4 tickets and got to bring her and her friends, and they were meet and greet tickets. We got to go and meet them after the show, and that was the happiest memory I could think of that we shared together, was that. And but she kept on going to shows. They'd go to Watershed, her and her friends, and she traveled to Canada to go to a music festival. She loved going to music like I did, and she always worked hard. She started getting jobs when she was just like barely even a teenager. Her mom had to fire her whole housekeeping staff of the hotel that she managed, and so Maddie and her friends stepped up, and the next day they were all in there cleaning rooms, which is a hard job. I did that for like 2 days. I was like, nope. And but those little girls were in there cleaning all summer long, cleaning all the rooms, and from then on, she always had a job. Like not all of that age of kids are all out there working all the time, but she sure was. She'd always work hard and make her own money, and buy her own cars and pay for her own gas, and and I wanted to, when I was up here, I wanted to make sure and mention Jake. She got to have this. Is really her only real big relationship she had in her life was with Jake, who is such a great guy, and I'm so glad that she got to just have at least a little taste of what it's like to be in love with someone. And
that is so sad.
Yeah, he's just a really great guy, and they treated each other the way you're supposed to. And I was really proud to just call him my daughter's boyfriend, and maybe someday maybe they would have gotten married. It seemed like it, at least. But I just want to thank like they said, thank all the people working on trying to figure this out, and it really means a lot. All the love and support that everyone out there is showing through this has just been amazing. I've heard from people I haven't thought about or heard from in 30 years. And yeah, just you see how good people can be when something terrible happens. They really make you feel loved and supported when it's important. But yeah, anyway, thanks for being here. And that's
Oh, man. Maybe we'll have to watch the whole thing. So, no, this was back in November, November 30th, I want to say. That's what I want to say. Let me see. November 30th, yeah. And this was like right after everything happened. So I remember I was on a different panel when we watched this, and couldn't turn my camera on. I remember 4 candles, like those big candles, like lit for each victim. And I might have even had some like tulips or something. And I was like, this would be really like nice for the vigil. And I couldn't even turn my camera on because I was just like, I was a mess. And I was just covering it, and this was only like a couple weeks in. And I was a mess. Like, wow. The things that I forgot some of that stuff that he said, that she got to like experience love. Y'all, I had tears in my eyes when he said, I mean, like instant. If I would have blinked, I would have been crying. So, wow. That's so sad. The next one is going to be sadder. Just as sad, not, just as sad. But this one came out December 1st. So that one was November 30th. And
murder cases taking
he did his first, so Ben Mogen does his first interview with what is this, Fox? Yeah, Fox News. I think that he probably got the idea. Well, no, I don't know. Maybe I was gonna say from Steve, because Steve was doing a lot of interviews with Fox News. I'm not sure when he started though. It might have been around the same time, actually. So
yet another turn. It's raising the question whether or not investigators are back to square one. As we say good morning, I'm Bill Hemmer. Welcome to December, Christmas time in the city.
Good morning. Good morning to you. I'm Dana Perino. This is America's Newsroom. It is very interesting to be this far into the investigation and then to get a different story all of a sudden. So we're going to cover all of this. There's an alarming lack of answers in the gruesome murder of 4 Iowa college students. It's been more than 2 weeks since they were found stabbed to death in an off-campus home. The killer still at large. Police have yet to name a suspect, and now the central theory behind the investigation has been thrown out the window.
So authorities have repeatedly told us that the killings were not random. They suggest the killer must have had a fixation with at least one of the victims. Police are now walking that back. Here is the quote. Detectives do not currently know if the residents or any occupants were specifically targeted, end quote.
And that is obviously very scary and frustrating for a community that has been on edge for weeks. But the police chief, James Fry, is defending his department.
We're trained very well.
Oh, I can't go back.
We're also aware when we need.
Obviously very scary.
Victims, police are now walking that back. Here is the quote. Detectives do not currently know if the residents or any occupants were specifically targeted, end quote.
And that is obviously very scary and frustrating for a community that has been on edge for weeks. But the police chief, James Fry, is defending his department.
We're trained very well. We're also aware when we need to bring in the Idaho State Police and the FBI or ATF.
There is no secrets in a small town. How is this a secret?
That's why we're going to continue to push through this investigation until we can uncover that secret. What I can offer is that we are going to work continuously, and we're going to provide as many answers as we can.
So here is where we think things stand now. It is not clear whether or not this was targeted or random. Forensic testing results are starting to come back in from the crime lab. Authorities have towed 5 cars from the crime scene that happened this week. They're processing those vehicles now for evidence.
Meanwhile, Fox News obtaining previously unseen photos of one of the victims. Here's 21-year-old Maddie Mogen. Some of these photos taken just days before she was killed. Her father speaking exclusively to Fox News on the state of the investigation.
You always just hope for a resolution with something like this so we can start moving on in our life. I just have to hope and trust that they're doing as good a job as anyone could do on this. It seems like they should have figured it out by now, but I don't know.
Christina Coleman is reporting live from Moscow, Idaho. Christina, what do you hear this morning?
That's when they started getting all that snow.
Hi, Dana. Well, we're all just wrapping our heads around this
Thank
new
you,
twist
Ladybug.
in the investigation, this major walk back from police. Again, as you mentioned, they said multiple times that this attack was targeted. Now they are saying differently. In a update last night, they said, quote, "We have spoken with the Latah County Prosecutor's Office and identified this was a communication. Detectives do not currently know if the residents or any occupants were specifically targeted, but continue to investigate." So this horrific attack at this house could have been at random, apparently. It's unknown at this time. It's another unanswered question more than 2 weeks into this investigation. Idaho State Police did note some progress, though, in this case, telling Fox Digital investigators are starting to receive forensic testing results from a crime lab. Again, you can expect a lot of forensic evidence at this house following this stabbing of 4 students. Now, parents of 3 of the victims attended a candlelight vigil last night at the university in honor of the slain students. Some very powerful moments there. So many people showed up, holding hands, many of them crying. At this event, the father of Kaylee Gonzalez reiterated that his daughter and Madison Mogen were close their whole lives up until the very end.
They started looking at colleges. They came here together. They eventually get into the same apartment together. And in the end, they died together in the same room, in the same bed. And it's a shame.
That was the first time we had heard that.
But the beauty of the two always being together is something that it comforts us.
Also, as you all have mentioned, the father of Madison Mogen, or Maddie, as her family and friends called her, talked to us one-on-one, talked to Fox News yesterday. He expressed how difficult it is to wake up every day knowing his daughter, his only child, is now gone.
I've got a lot of family support and a lot of friends that have been really great through this, and my work's been really great. But every time I wake up, I remember what's going on, and it's like, I don't know how you ever get used to this. It's never gonna. Life will never go away.
Man.
Also, I'd like to note, we are here at the Moscow Police Department. We reached out to them yesterday for clarification on why they initially believed this was targeted and now why they don't. And that's something that they're investigating. We also want to hear more about these resources that they apparently say they would like to have, those additional resources. So we're here at Moscow Police waiting to get back.
All right, well, Christina there in the...
Man, they sent out the good-looking reporters to Moscow. Remember the guy? I forget his name. But he had the perfect white teeth. Oh my goodness, that guy. He was just like perfect smile. That was just like a small interview that he did. That was back. Let me tell you guys the date on that again, if I can. If it'll let me. December 1st. So how many days are in November? 30 or 31. So it was just a couple of days after the vigil. The next one is going to be, it's just a short, like, little piece that he does. They actually took it from the 2020 episode. So remember last night when we played that Dateline clip and I paused it and everything? I said, I'm going to pause it for commentary because they will clip you. They'll clip you. Well, they did. They took off my monetization, but what I'm going to do, if anybody hasn't watched it, watch it as soon as you can. Because if they don't, I'm trying to I'm telling them I use fair use because I did. But if for some reason they don't agree with that, I might have to take that part of that clip out. So there might be a part, that's not there. Just want to let you guys know. Them sons of guns. Thanks, thanks, Manjachi. I said something. Thank you. I know. I was like, man, if I was going to send myself a super chat, I was trying to hurry up and click buy, buy it really quick. That's so funny. Actually, you know what? We have some memberships left. We should gift those out tonight. So I'll do that while we're watching this. This just goes over like a little bit of, Bryan Kohberger and stuff as well. But it does have a clip of him. So this one's going to be from the 2020 episode. I'm using this one, so hopefully they don't, get me. And thanks again, Machi. That was very nice.
This morning, as the suspect accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students prepares to head back to court.
This one, and I want to let you know, this one is January 11th, 2023. So this is after the arrest of Bryan Kohberger. Probably a weight's lifted off their shoulders a little bit in some sense,
New details emerging about Bryan Kohberger's actions before his arrest. ABC News learning from a law enforcement source that federal investigators observed him in Pennsylvania around 4 a.m. as he discarded garbage in his neighbor's trash bin just days before his arrest. Trash ending up being key in the case. Police linking Kohberger to the murders by collecting his father's DNA from trash outside the family home and matching that to DNA they say they discovered on the button snap of a knife sheath that was on the bed next to the body of victim Maddie Mogen.
If I had 1 or 2 words to describe Maddie May, it would be just an angel, and that she just made me proud.
Ben
Maddie May, the way he says her middle name.
Mogen speaking about his daughter Madison to ABC News and describing the moment law enforcement told him they'd made an arrest in the case.
And he said, Ben, this is the day that we've been waiting
I'm
for.
smiling.
Ben also describing his emotions while reading the evidence law enforcement say they had gathered against Kohberger.
I broke down, and I just cried. I could only take so much of that, and I cried. I still haven't read the rest of it.
The police affidavit.
That's really sad. Like looking on now, like, back on it two years ago, or 3 years ago almost. It'll be 3 years in November. Like, just think about that. We were reading it like on the internet, like freaking out about it, going, oh my gosh, this happened. Oh my gosh, that happened. Just imagine being being the parents, and like Christy and Steve are sitting down, Ben sitting down, and they're all with this 18-page affidavit, and like they're all like reading this affidavit out, and like I would need it in chunks, because the first 7 pages of that is like the whole crime, pretty much. You know what I mean? The other like whatever pages that are left is Bryan Kohberger and him traveling and stuff around, and it's just kind of like you know what I mean? Like, that's not the meat and potatoes. Like, they give it to you right in the beginning, So, hey, Jessica. So it's just, it's just really sad. Man. Thank you, Mary Beth. I was like, is there anything I could do with her, like this weekend? Because it's my front. It's like my front and side, and it's freaking me out.
David claiming investigators believe the 4 college students were killed between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m. They say one of the surviving roommates was awake at the time of the murders and told police she witnessed the intruder, seeing a masked man coming toward her before he walked out through a sliding glass door, the roommate then locking her door. Police say later that morning, the 2 surviving roommates called friends to the house because they thought one of the victims had simply passed out and wasn't waking up. The 911 call finally coming around noon. Officials say the 2 surviving roommates are not suspects. Overnight, Kaylee Gonsalves' sister, Olivia, saying Kaylee and Madison did everything right that night.
They went out together. They called for a ride. They went
Southern-ish.
to a known establishment. They did everything you would want your daughter or your sister to do in that situation. You're supposed to grow up together. That's your God-given best friend. And so we're left with not only missing them and exactly who they were, but wondering who they were going to become.
On the University of Idaho campus, second semester classes began this week with heightened security. Meanwhile, Kohberger, who was extradited back to Idaho last week, is scheduled to be in court Thursday morning. Mola Legge, ABC News, Denver.
Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our ABC7 Chicago.
We didn't like it that much. I'm like, we didn't like it that much. Just subscribe. I have like a random live in the middle of my, my life. So I was watching something earlier and I forgot. I was like, that would have been funny if I would have shared it with you guys. So I found this video. I haven't seen this one. It's just a very short clip of Ben Mogen talking about losing Maddie. And this is on the Idaho murder case TikTok page. So I'm going to show you guys Idaho murder case. So this is just like an interview that he did.
People to remember Maddie.
There we go. And if you guys don't mind just taking a second and hit the like button, it really helps the channel. It helps get us out into the algorithm. That's where we want to be. That's where everyone wants to be. But thank you guys for being here tonight. I do appreciate it. If you decide you want to become a member of our channel, I'll drop the link in the chat throughout the live, and you're more than welcome to join our channel membership. We'd love to have you. Love to have you. We'll be making some new emojis finally this week. So if you guys have any ideas for any, let me know, and I'll be sure to see what we could do. Oh, Southern Dish, look at you being a member for 7 months. I appreciate you too. Thank you for coming in tonight. I appreciate that.
Yes, just being a loving, caring, just beautiful person who everybody just misses so much, and we're just all so proud of. And this has been the most difficult thing that any of us will ever go through, and it's just important to stay close to your loved ones and your family in times like this. I would say, I mean, a lot of us are going to counseling. I've gone to counseling, and it's helped a lot, just being able to talk about things and remember her in the best way that we can, and keep her memory alive. People that,
Man, like I've literally like thumbs up. Yeah. Hey Chris. I actually reached out to she was my best friend growing up. I would consider her still my best friend. Till the day that in the earth, she's gonna be my best friend. And just going back through like these interviews and then just going back through the old videos and stuff. I don't know. I just reached out to her. It had been a long time. I said, hey, we're getting ready to be 40 this year. Gotta send you that birthday card, So but thanks again for being here. This interview was with Krem News. This is one of their local stations. And so Ben sits down and he talks with the reporter. It's about a 30-minute interview that they have. They go through like some cards that Maddie gave to him. And it's a really, really good interview. It was really well done. I like Krem News. They've done a really good job on this case. So I'll pause it here and there for commentary. But I'll let it play, for the most part.
Well, Ben, first off, I just want to say thank you so much for agreeing to meet with us.
And then after this one, we'll see Maddie's mom. Let me see here. November 13th, 2023. So 1 year to the day after losing his baby girl. And I mean, I understand why Maddie's mom didn't come out. That would be so hard to talk about. It would be so hard.
I know this has been an extremely difficult year, to say the least. How are you doing 1 year after? I know that's a loaded question.
Well, I'm hanging in there. I have the best family and support system that I could ask for, and yeah, we're hanging in there. We've spent a lot of time, together and thinking about Maddie and just trying to live our best lives that she would want us to live.
You've known Maddie her whole life. Tell us, who is Maddie Mogen, or as you call Maddie May, right?
Maddie May Mogen, yes. She was the sweetest, smart, loving. She was the best. She never caused me one day of stress in my life. She was the best child I could have asked for, and yeah, we miss her so much.
tell us about.
Hold on, Tim. I just want to make sure the mic isn't. Can we set that one's fine, but I think maybe that
Oh yeah,
one
they fixed his mic.
clicking a little bit. Can we just set it on maybe right here?
Yeah.
Sometimes when the cord runs against something.
Do we need to redo anything?
No.
Okay. Ben, tell us about Maddie from where she was born to where she grew up. Give us we want to honor Maddie. Tell us about Maddie's childhood.
Well, Maddie was born in Eugene, Oregon. We lived down in Oregon for a few years, and so yeah, she was born there, and we had a nice little life, just really simple, and yeah, then we moved up here when she was almost 4, and yeah, she did well in school. She had friends. She always had lots of friends, and yeah, she loved music. That she probably got that from me. We definitely enjoyed our music together, and then later on going to see live music. But yeah, she grew up here in Coeur d'Alene, and just a few blocks from here. And yeah, she had such a bright future ahead of her. And yeah, you just miss her every day.
Ben, we're meeting at a Starbucks right now. I asked you where you would want to meet, and you mentioned the Starbucks here in Coeur d'Alene. Why did you pick this location?
Well, the last time that we ever went somewhere together, it was here. She was heading back to college, and we wanted to see her before she went back to school. So my mom and I set up a little breakfast or coffee date here, and yeah, we met with her, and she drove back to Moscow, and then we only saw each other one time after that. It was at my dad's house for 4th of July dinner.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, so this was the second to last time I spent time with Maddie.
So he didn't get to see her after, the 4th of July. That's real sad. People get busy and stuff.
So I'm sure even just walking.
And I mean, I say that like it's nothing, but that's what I mean. We all say that like, oh, I'll give them a call later or them a call tomorrow, or you know what I mean? Or sometimes that's not tomorrow. There's no tomorrow.
One last thing.
It's so sad. I wish they would have got more time together.
Is that okay?
Sorry, guys.
No problem. Should I move it down a little?
Yeah. Just between that and the chain, it was kind of. Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, again.
It's okay. So Ben, when you come here to Starbucks at this particular Starbucks, does it bring back any memories of your daughter?
Yeah. We sat right. There used to be a table right over here, and that's the one that we sat at. And yeah, every time I even drive by here, I think about seeing her here and just how much I wish she was here with us.
Yeah. It's obvious. It's obvious that this is difficult for you. Where are you in the stages of grief right now?
Well, I've been seeing counseling, just one-on-one counseling with a wonderful woman, and but I was going every week for about 9 months, I would say, and then the last month or so I've just been doing every other week. So I think that's a sign that I'm, moving in the right direction. But it's, I read a little grief book. I read a passage from it every day that helps me through. And like I said, my support I have at work and at home and with my family. I mean, that's really what gets me through. It's just the people in my life. And another big thing is just my sobriety. I've been able to stay clean through this, and that's a huge thing. We go to AA and NA meetings, my wife and I do, and that helps a lot too, because it's really easy to spiral down after something like this. And yeah, I've been able to keep my head up.
I love that. It's very evident that you raised a very bright daughter. She just radiates, you know, the smile and the joy that she brought was so evident. You talked about how she impacted so many people, and you still hear from those people, strangers even. What do they say to you?
I'll be working. I work at concerts and sports events doing security, and I'll have people come up to me even now a year later and say, hey, I just wanted to tell you how much Maddie meant to me, you know, whether it was a teacher or someone she used to work with, but it still happens. And yeah, I didn't realize how many lives that she was able to touch in her short life. And everyone has just the best things to say about her, you know, just that she was so sweet and just loving and a good person.
So is it comforting for you to hear from those strangers?
Yeah, I like to hear positive, happy things and memories about Maddie.
I bet.
Oh, that light went off. Is that okay?
I didn't want to draw attention to it. I'm glad you caught it.
Now I'm gonna say these families are there. You can tell, like, his mic was hitting his chain. You know, he had no clue that he was doing that. These are families. They're not interviewers, pro interviewers, and like I think some people, like, you know, they are harder on some of these families, and they think that they're like been doing this their whole life, and they're not. They haven't. But that's funny that he said that light turned off. Was I supposed to do that?
There we go.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, I might have to just switch the battery.
Okay, that's fine. His batteries die quick.
I also brought she wrote me a Father's Day card, the last Father's Day that we had, and so I brought it with me. Yeah.
Oh.
And, yeah, it's really sweet.
It's so sweet.
But, yeah, if you want me to like read it or something.
Yeah, that might be good.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, whatever.
Cool. Ben, we talked a lot about Maddie growing up. A big part of her childhood was her best friend Kaylee, another one of the victims in the stabbing. I'm gonna say that again. Ben, you talked about her childhood, and part of her childhood was her best friend Kaylee.
Mm-hmm.
They were like sisters. Tell us about their friendship.
Yeah, they really had a really special friendship. She and her sisters were like family to Maddie. That whole family took her in, and they would go on trips together, and they really clicked, and it was fun to see them go through their little ups and downs as a couple of just best friends growing up and going through high school and middle school. And, you know, it was fun to see them. They really they're fun to watch.
It really did seem like they did everything together.
Yeah.
I heard something about they wrote a letter to their high school or something to go to a different school. Do you know that story or something? Okay, maybe it was something else I was thinking of.
I know what you're talking about. They had to, so they went to charter for middle school, and they wanted to go to the public school for their freshman through senior years, and they had to give a presentation to the parents saying all the reasons that they thought it was a good idea why they should be switching schools, because charter is really high academic standards, and we wanted to make sure that they had that they were doing it with the right reasons, I guess.
I love it. They concocted a plan.
Yeah, but it worked.
So from childhood, middle school, and then high school.
I'm telling you guys, this guy reminds me of my dad. Me and my best friend did that in our senior year. We didn't have to do a whole presentation or anything, but we had to convince our parents to let me go back to my school that I went to kindergarten through third. And it was a hassle, but they let us.
School. And then you find out your daughter is going to college. Mm-hmm. She's going to the University of Idaho, which is just down the road.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was like hearing that your daughter was going to be a vandal?
Yeah, I was excited. It was going to be close enough that we'd be able to see her. She could come home on weekends, and yeah, but still it was going to be far enough away that she could feel like she was living her own life and being independent, and yeah, having her own little hometown was special for her. And so yeah, I was so proud that she wanted to take that next step and do it right out of high school. And yeah, she just was. We went out to a dinner with some of her professors after everything happened, and yeah, they told me about how she was in the classroom and how she would just kind of take charge on projects, and she was kind of a leader in her group, in her class. And yeah, it was fun to hear that side of her, because you never know how your kid is when they're at school, you know.
Well, obviously, Maddie never got to walk across the stage, but last spring she was awarded a posthumous degree. You mentioned that you're proud of your daughter. When they announced that, what did that mean to you?
Well, that was so special, and the University of Idaho has done such an amazing job just honoring her and the other students, and making it really comfortable for the families. And yeah, that everything that they did at the graduation was really nice. And walking across the stage and picking up that diploma for her that she earned. They didn't just give it to her because they were trying to be nice. She earned all those credits, and she got that degree. And yeah, we're so proud of her still.
I want to transition.
What his
Ben,
necklace
did you know,
is.
is it Jake Schreiger?
Yeah.
I wonder if his necklace, it almost looks like it. It looks like one of those barrel necklaces that you can get to put like ashes in. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know if that's what it is, but it looks like one of those barrel necklaces above the K. That's sweet.
Yeah, yeah.
Ben, tell us about Jake Schreiger. He spoke at the memorial for Maddie.
Oh, thank you, Southern
Talk
Edge.
about their relationship.
Oh, I love Jake. Jake and Maddie had a really beautiful relationship, and they were so happy together, made each other so happy, and he's such a solid, just fun guy. And I just actually went to lunch with him. He's over in Spain now, and he's teaching English over there. And the day before he flew out, we went over and had lunch over at Capone's in Post Falls, and had a really nice talk. And he's over there just on a new adventure, trying to move past this. But yeah, I'll always keep in touch with Jake. I really wanted to see my daughter and Jake together.
I know that's so hard to talk about, so thank you for being so open.
You're welcome.
I want to transition a little bit. What was it? Do you remember the day that you received the phone call about what happened to your daughter?
Yeah, I was watching a movie by myself at the theater, and I got a couple calls from my mom and from Karen, and I thought something must be going on because the
we can start over.
Yeah, that's my phone.
Okay.
I can.
I didn't hear it.
Okay.
Really? Okay.
So tell us about that night.
Yeah, so I was at the theater watching a movie, and I got a couple calls, one from my mom and then one from Karen, and they're right back to back. And so I took the call, and my mom just said, "You have to come home, come to her house," and didn't tell me anything else. And
man.
so the worst things came to my head, but it still wasn't as bad as what it ended up being. But yeah, I'll obviously never forget that night. But yeah, I spent the rest of the night just with my family, just trying to make some sense out of this, and yeah, it's just horrific. I hope no one ever has to go through something like that.
Are you following the legal proceedings right now?
I get updates from the prosecutor's office by email. I try and get the information that way rather than watching the news about it, because it's just hard seeing that guy's face, and yeah, I can kind of cut right to the chase when I just get the emails that they send me. So I try and kind of turn the channel when it comes on the TV, to be honest. But yeah, I know what's going on with the case when things happen with it.
And not to mention misinformation around this case.
Yeah.
Has that been difficult to see what people say about the kids?
I just don't go on social media. I don't look at any of that stuff. I know it's out there, but I just don't. Yeah. I don't let anything like that really taint what I'm going. It's hard enough already just as it is, and I just don't try and bring any negativity into my life that I don't need. So.
I'm the same way, my friend. If someone's talking bad about me, I'm not going to go check it out. Like, I don't want to hear someone talk bad about me, or, like in his case, misinformation, like, especially when everyone was going after like the boyfriends and stuff.
And I've been able to do that. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
And they were making fun of Jake, actually. They were saying, like, I remember people making fun of the way that he looked, saying that he was like not good enough for Maddie and all this and that. I don't know if you guys remember those rumors, but people were saying that, and I just thought it was really gross because I thought he was adorable. I still think he's adorable. As soon as he went on that stage for the vigil and talked, I just thought he was an adorable guy, a very sweet guy.
What does justice look like for you?
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that question.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate your honesty. Let's just talk about Maddie Mayday. Can you tell me more about Maddie Mayday? Where did the idea come from, and what was it like to celebrate Maddie Mayday?
Yeah, so Maddie Mayday is something that my sisters came up with, and we just wanted to have her birthday be a day that we celebrate and that makes people's lives better in the name of Maddie May. And so we decided to make it to where Maddie May Day is May 25th. And so every year on that day, we're going to just do a random act of kindness for someone or for some people. And so, this year we baked cookies and took them to all of her teachers at all of her schools, at her grade school and middle school and high school. And that's what my mom chose to do for her good deed. And everyone kind of did something different that was personal to them and that would honor Maddie's memory in the way that we wanted. So we just wanted to, we didn't want it to be something where people had to, spend money or spend, it was just as much or as little as you want to do, and just do it in her honor. And it went really well. I was really amazed at all the different things that people did.
What were some of the things that you heard about?
People were buying coffees or meals at restaurants for people and then kind of pass it on type of a thing, or at drive-throughs like they do here at the coffee shops, and things like that. And going and raking someone's yard or mowing someone's lawn. I think it was more lawn mowing kind of thing back then in May. So, there was just doing nice things for people. And there's a page that they made that people could go and post what they did. So
that's awesome.
Aww.
Yeah,
that's your daughter's legacy.
Yes,
the kindness that she showed, and you may not hear all the stories.
Right.
What is that? Talk about that legacy, knowing that your daughter touched so many lives and will continue to on future Maddie May days and even outside of Maddie May days. How has your daughter's legacy shined in this last year?
I think that all the good things that she did for people that made their lives better kind of came to the surface, and we were able to hear just how great of I didn't have any idea, barely any of this stuff that I found out about her since everything happened. You know, you never hear those types of things unless something like this happens, I guess. But yeah, I was just to hear how many lives that she was able to impact, and that she had that people had such a great lasting impression of her and a memory of her. You know, everyone had such nice things and sweet things to say. She was really a good person.
Hey, Tim,
Yeah.
I got to ask a question.
Yeah.
I read I read somewhere, and I don't remember where I read it. We might read it tonight, but it said that Maddie was the sweetest girl unless you let her get hungry. And it made me giggle. It made me giggle because the food truck video where she's yelling at Joe Viggett, like, F you. Well, maybe Kaylee took her to the food truck after the bars because she knew she was going to get hungry and she wanted to be there. She wanted to be a good friend.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Which
That's
one?
what I'm thinking.
Oh. Was Maddie an only child?
Yes.
She was. But she had Kaylee and all her other friends.
Yeah.
She seemed very popular.
Yeah.
I want to ask, you know, while there's no other situation like this out there, what advice would you give to parents watching that go through such a horrific loss? How do you cope?
I'd say just keep the people that you love close, and just love each other, and be there for each other, and you know, ask how, just know how each other are doing, you know, and check on each other, and just the support and constant reminders of how much support I have has been what's gotten me through, and yeah, like I said, the counseling and the sobriety, that's played a huge part for me. So I would say don't.
I was about to say, I think he's sober.
Go and try and drown.
I think that he was on some stuff, but I do think that he's sober. I think that he talks about his sobriety a little bit.
Drown out the grief and let it hit you. I mean, let the feelings hit you, because they're gonna come one way or another, and so it's better to just let them hit you naturally and with a clean mind, so that you can feel what they're trying to impress on us, because those feelings are important and we have to go through them before we can move on and
That's true.
get on with our life. And so that's, I guess, what I would maybe say.
That's good advice. Ben, if you could describe your daughter in a few words, how would you describe Maddie?
Oh, just bright and funny and just fun. She was a fun person to be around.
You're wearing an angel on you're wearing an angel wing necklace with Maddie's name on it. Tell us the story about the angel wing.
Well, my sister Katie May, Maddie May has her middle name because of my sister Katie May. So, and they had a special connection too. So Katie, my sister, got this, had this made for me, and it says Madison May Mogen, and it says love always on the fourth side. And then my mom got me a little silver angel wing to remind me that Maddie's always with me. So I wear those every day, and yeah, it's that and my wedding ring are my only jewelry that I wear.
Yeah. You talked about she's always with you, and you and I chatted about what we would call maybe a wink from Maddie over the last year. Do you feel her presence occasionally?
Yeah, I do. And when I feel that she's looking down on me or that she's there with me, I say it out loud. I say, "I love you, Maddie," or I say, "Hi, Maddie," or something like that, so that maybe she can know that I'm thinking about her, and how often I think about her. It's not a. Yeah, she's always on my heart. Yeah, so I tell her hi multiple times a day, and maybe she knows.
I feel good. Is there anything else that you want to add, Ben? We'll chat more when we walk, but
yeah. No, I do want to show that card.
Do you have that card?
Yeah.
Is it in your jacket?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you grab?
It's just in a book that's right here.
Could you put the mic over there? Thank you. So what did you bring?
Oh, this is my wife's Halsey poetry book, but
what's this?
I came across this after everything happened, and Maddie gave me this on the last Father's Day that she was here for. And it says, "Happy Father's Day to a dad who has everything: ability, looks, charm, talent, personality, and me. Love you, Dad." But then what she wrote, "Happy Father's Day. I hope you have the best day. I can't wait till we can hang out again soon. I'll be in Coeur d'Alene on the 4th of July. Hopefully we can find a time then. I loved your birthday card you sent me, by the way. Maybe we can see a concert sometime soon. I'd love to see the gorge when it's not so smoky out. I hope you're doing well. I'm proud of how far you've come. Thank you for always encouraging me to do my best. Love you lots and lots. Maddie Mogen."
I'm sorry, but that's his most precious. That's his most prized possession that he has. The last card his daughter gave him. He literally told that guy twice about the card. Do you know what I mean? Like, that brought tears to my eyes. I mean, Ben Mogen, my heart goes out to you.
Yeah.
All the family.
When I found this card, it just it made me so happy, and I'm so glad that I have it, and I'll just treasure it forever. I'm sure.
You should put it in the picture frame.
Father's Days and holidays. Are you finding new ways to enjoy and celebrate those days with Maddie, not by your side?
It's still not something that it'll never feel right without her. I don't think we spend every holiday together, every birthday of hers. I don't know how to do the holidays without her yet.
Yeah. Well, that's very special that you have that.
Yeah, thanks.
Did Maddie, when she was growing up, did she have any nicknames for you, or did she just call you Dad, or?
Yeah, it was just yes. I don't think she had any nicknames. My mom. She called my mom Deedle, but I think that was the only nickname.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I was wondering, do we need him to read that one more time?
Because I had coverage of everything. I think.
Oh no, I meant the blender turned on halfway through.
Oh, I wasn't even really.
It was fine. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Nicole, did you get a good wide shot on it too? I mean, we can see.
Sorry, you made me tear up.
I tried so hard not to. I think I did. I don't know how I've been able to. I get emotional so easily now, even a year later, just over things that normally, just sad things that normally I would have been fine with. People just make me tear up.
Oh, I know.
When before.
It'll happen. My sister passed away 13 13 years ago now.
Look at
And every once in a
him.
while,
That's a sincere, like, empath. Oh,
I'll talk about her, and
Yeah.
I'll meet someone named Melody, and I'll just feel. They were like, "Why are you crying?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I can't. It's too much."
The nice thing with me is when I'm crying, no one wonders why. They don't have to ask me why, because it's pretty obvious. It's probably something to do with Maddie, you know. Yeah.
It'll come in waves.
Yeah.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
Well, Ben, thank you so much. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
We're just getting a live shot of you
Okay.
guys.
Okay. So, just keep chatting for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just keep chatting.
So then later on, will we go right from here down there?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
We could all, if you're okay with it, we could just ride in one car, because that way, we don't have to find parking or whatever. You said it was dockside.
Well, she worked at the beach house, which is the resort out in a different place. But when she worked at the resort, it was at the infinity pool.
Okay. We don't have to go in there.
I don't think we can.
But maybe just walk around the outside,
Yeah.
It's not raining today.
Right.
We got a little break.
Yes.
Can you record this, Nate? What were some of Maddie's favorite things? I actually meant to ask you that. What were some of her favorite things?
She loved the color pink. She loved her pink cowboy hat and cowboy boots. She loved to go out with her friends, and loved live music, and loved to go on road trips, and loved to go on the water. She loved the water and going on boats, and yeah, she's always been an outdoorsy kind of girl. And yeah, she loved fashion and looking good and doing makeup and hair and nails and stuff like that. She'd do that with her friends and make them all look good. And yeah, she liked. Yeah, just spending time.
That's what mamas do, huh?
She wasn't probably alone very often.
Yeah,
she's real social.
What was it like being a girl dad?
Yeah, I don't know any other way. My stepdaughter lives with us now. She's 14. Yeah, I'm pretty used to living with only other females.
Too funny.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded too. I got a bunch of sisters, so I understand.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, for people watching this 1 year later, how do you want them to remember your daughter?
I just want people to remember Maddie as someone who was a good friend and just loved the people in her life and was loved by those people, and just like to live and get the most out of life, and don't waste any days,
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, my favorite memory with Maddie is going to the Mac Miller concert and getting to meet him, and taking her and her friends. They were so happy, and I've just never seen her so happy in my life. And yeah, she knew all the words, and they were just jumping and singing all the lyrics, and yeah, that was the happiest I probably have ever been.
If she were here today, what would be the one thing you want to tell her?
Just tell her that I'm just so proud of her, and that
oh God,
she's the reason that I'm even still here.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to say something like, I would tell her I love her, but to say he's proud of her and that she's the reason why he is still here, we all know what that means. We all know what that means, Hey, tearing it up. Man, I'm about to be tearing it up here in a minute. Man. Huh. Oh, man. Oh, Karina, that's sweet. I did my nails actually for each victim. I did a different color. Now, I know I did pink for Maddie. I know I did yellow for Ethan. I think I did purple for Zana, but I don't know what color I did for Kaylee. Like I'm like thinking about it. I'll go back and I'll check out. I have it on like a TikTok or something too, but I did it for their birthday months. So because like I believe Maddie, Kaylee, and Zana are all like different month. Like these are going to be wrong, but like May, June, July, or something like along those lines. And then I believe like Ethan was in like October. So they were all kind of within the same 6 months. But that's really sad. So 4 months ago, we finally got to hear from Maddie's mom. She is a very lovely woman, very lovely. We went over this video about 4 months ago. So if it looks a little more familiar, that's probably why. And then we'll read her obituary. But look how pretty her eyes were. She's such a pretty girl. I mean, they all were very, very, very attractive, young adults just in their prime of their life, The worst thing that they should have been like thinking about was like, having the cops called on them for underage drinking or the music being too loud or something, like that should have been their only worry.
It was 2 years ago when the world came to know Madison Mogen's name, a 21-year-old senior at the University of Idaho, known as Maddie to her friends and family. She had an unforgettable smile and made everyone she met feel loved. A life taken too soon when she and 3 others, Kaylee Gonsalves, Zana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin, were murdered in an off-campus house in November 2022. A weeks-long manhunt ended with the arrest of then 28-year-old Bryan Kohberger, who now faces 4 counts of first-degree murder and the death penalty if convicted. The initial judge in the case entered a not guilty plea on his behalf. The trial now set for August. In the years since the tragedy, those who knew Madison, Kaylee, Zana, and Ethan have worked to keep their memories alive. The University of Idaho dedicated a new healing garden and memorial in August.
Today, we consecrate this ground as a place where all can reflect, honor their memories, and heal.
Ethan's family established Ethan's Smile to carry on his legacy. His mom, Stacy, talking about Ethan last year on Today.
He just warmed every room. He had a wonderful smile.
Now, Maddie, Kaylee, and Zana are being honored through the Made with Kindness Foundation. The foundation's mission to partner with colleges and universities to provide scholarship funds, grief wellness seminars, and comprehensive on-campus safety awareness. Madison's mother, Karen, is on the board. She joined other family and friends last month to dedicate Bestie's Benches to her daughter and her friends, a place to reflect and to celebrate 3 beautiful lives. Well, Karen Laramie is with us this morning alongside Angela Navejas, who is the co-founder of this Made with Kindness Foundation, which we want to talk about this morning in the way that you both are honoring Maddie. But Karen, to be with you and know how much you have been through, just how are you doing this morning?
Doing all right. It's been a long flight and some major travels, but I feel the love absolutely from you guys.
Well, we learned a lot about Maddie, and I was just wondering, like, you must talk to her often. I was imagining you doing that. Tell me about what that's like.
It's about memories and love. And sometimes I see her in dreams when she's like a toddler, and those days when they still hug you. And sometimes I see her in dreams when she's more of an adult. And it's always about hugs and appreciation. And it's just beautiful.
Just like her.
It's to have a dream about someone you lost is so special because I always think, they're perfectly preserved in your mind.
Absolutely.
And it's such a precious gift. You almost don't want to wake up from that dream.
Yes. Absolutely. It's hard.
Yeah.
Because you have to say goodbye again.
Yeah. But you and Maddie had such a special relationship. I mean, I was telling you before, it's kind of mom goals, the way that she grew up and was so beloved and the special connection that you had. Can you tell me about her and tell me about that?
So one of the funny stories I was telling, I think my aunt, is that we never had slammed doors in our house. We never had, there was one string cheese fight one time when she was 8 because she wouldn't eat dinner. She would snack. And I said, honey, no, you cannot have string cheese because I'm making dinner. And she slammed it on the counter and marched to her room. And my husband, Scott, and I looked at her like, what just happened there?
Yeah.
Like, that was so out of character. Madison was a great baby. I'm not going to say was. Madison is absolutely amazing and always has been. Like, didn't have terrible twos. She had some stubborn threes, but even as a teenager, she was just a joy.
Well, you describe her kindness as beyond.
Yes.
It's like everywhere she went, she brought light. That was just how she led, right? Tell us about that.
It is. So it was just surprising to me. Like, so we were in Seattle one time and I'm watching her as an adult going shopping and being in these stores. And I'm like, you're just so kind to everybody. Like, did we really ingrain that in you? Like, that's amazing. One time she called my cousin on Veterans Day and said, thank you for your service. After she lived with him and like burnt half his pans. So she just had that genuine love that it's just impossible to describe.
Do you wake up some mornings and wonder if it's all real? It's been 2 years.
It's real.
Yeah.
But I know where the girls are. And faith is really the basis of how you get up every morning when you have a loss this deep.
I love how sentimental Maddie seemed to be. I know you're wearing a ring that she surprised you with.
Yes.
Will you tell me? I wanted to, it's so beautiful. And for a young girl like that to do something for her mom.
So it's a 2-piece ring. And my half, I think, says, you are my sunshine. And hers said, my only sunshine.
Oh, you used to sing that to her.
Yes, all the time.
And I know she made you a Mother's Day book. I mean, it's just extraordinary to me, this connection that you so clearly had with this beautiful girl.
It was easy. She is amazing.
She is amazing. And she lives on in this organization too that you and your friend Angela have established. Tell us about that, Angela.
Yeah, so my daughter and I decided, my daughter's Ashlyn, her and Maddie were best friends. They went to school together as well.
Well, that's Ashlyn.
And we just decided that we wanted to start something to be able to remember and honor the girls and kind of how they were, their optimism, empowerment, confidence. And so we just woke up one morning and said, hey, let's start a foundation in the girls' honor. And I grabbed some flowers and wrote a letter to Karen, and she wasn't home. So I stuck it on her door, and she got home from Hawaii, and then here we are.
And I mean, Karen, having a purpose to this pain is so important.
It absolutely is.
Tell me what you're hoping to accomplish with the foundation. What is it about? Because I know it's about giving back, which is in your heart and was in Maddie's too.
Absolutely. So I think the most important thing, it's going to be really fun to be part of the scholarship committee and just watch kids read what they have to say, what's in their hearts, and be able to give them back something. The economy is horrible. Like, everyone needs a helping hand. And I'm just really super excited to see. And we have a lot of platforms that we're working on. And every one of them is positive. And that just brings it back to your heart. Like, you know, we're missing our kids. And to have something to put your heart into positively, it's there are no words.
We've been reporting on this upcoming trial, and I feel like every time we talk about it, we say it's happening later, it's happening later. It's been 2 years. I think the trial's still another 8 months away. What do you think about all this time that has passed from the time of the crime to the fact that we have not been to trial yet?
I don't have a lot of comments on that. I would say that I feel like the legal system is not about the victims, and I'll leave it at that.
It's such a difficult road for all of the families, and all of
That's what I
the families
said.
grieve differently, of course. Kaylee and Madison had such a special relationship in particular.
Yes, they did.
She was they were like sisters.
Yes, they were.
So, I mean, you're suffering that loss as well. Yeah. You're missing Kaylee, you're missing Maddie. Have you guys been able to support each other?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Christy and Steve are amazing. And healing together is such a huge thing because we both had both families had just this like immediate loss of the girls. And yes, they have been very, very supportive. And I just absolutely love them.
Well, we absolutely love you. We're so happy that you came on and you
Isn't that a
spoke to
sweet
us about her
picture?
beautiful spirit, Maddie's spirit, and this incredible foundation that you guys have established. So thank you for coming and sharing with us. It means a lot. So thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you guys.
Hey,
I still can't get over how much weight that guy lost. It's been 20 years or more. But I'm like, Al Roker, where are you, Al? Remember Al? He used to be big and then he got like real skinny. He did what was it? The gastric bypass? But every time I see him, I couldn't imagine this. I couldn't imagine having my child be murdered and it being on every YouTube channel, every, court channel, every news channel. People that didn't even cover Idaho 4 were covering Idaho 4, right? You know what I mean? Like everybody was covering this case when it first happened. And a lot of people still are. A lot of people I feel like took a break, myself included. We would always kind of come back to it and always be kind of on it, but um yeah, I think a lot of people just, a lot of people have left the platform that were even talking about it. All the people, the conspiracy theorists, a lot of those people, they're coming in with new waves now. But the old set, the real rowdy bunch, the super rowdy bunch, like this bunch I could take. The first round, the first year. Woo! If you want to see some lit Tanya content, go back to my first year with Idaho. And it was crazy. We were all turning up. We were like, me and this other lady, I can't remember her name, but we were yelling at each other on the panel one night. I need to go back and find that video because that was comedic gold. That was just funny. I need to like replay them for you guys just so you could hear me. Because I would turn up in the chat if there was anybody was trolling me or if someone would come in and say something as a fact and it wasn't a fact. I was just so bad. You should go back and watch it. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy back then. I forget that lady's name. Now it's gonna bother me. Summer would know it. She would remember. I'm trying to think of who it was. I can't remember who it was. But yeah, it was pretty entertaining. Santa's mom on Sunday. Oh gosh. Awesome Town Matt. I wouldn't doubt it because her mom was saying like she didn't know how Bryan could do this. And when she was on a panel with a couple YouTubers and they were kind of feeding her into that, like letting her go that way instead of grounding her back to like the facts and just like, keeping the facts there. It was just, it was crazy. I was passionate. Yeah, that's what it was. I was just really passionate. And then I just had to take a vacation. That's all it was. I just had to take a little vacation. Because when you cover a case and I'm passionate about the cases I cover. I really am. Like we were talking today before I go get to Maddie's thing. But me and Vincent were talking today about the cases I should cover, so, like keep covering and cases that don't do well on the channel. And one case that it doesn't do that well on the channel, but I will never stop talking about it until she's found is Madalena Kojikari. You can expect me to have a stream about her at least once every month or so. And that's just kind of, I have to do it. No one's looking for her. So, and I don't know. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Maybe that wasn't him. Maybe that wasn't. That's not him. What's that dog doing out there? Okay, I'm gonna read this to you guys. I got crazy dogs. The dog probably got something. I bet the dog and the cat are over there doing something. Sorry, I lost my train of thought too. My train of thought. I thought, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm done for the night. Look at the mess with Sebastian. Yeah, it's insane, and it's a public and this is a public announcement. Stay away from TikTokers. Oh no, I saw that. I almost saw the whole 9-hour live today. I think Vincent probably thinks I'm crazy at this point for listening to a 9-hour live. Like I was just doing everything I needed to do today. I was working out, doing everything. Yeah, everyone stay away from TikTokers. I do TikTok though, but I'm fun over there. Hmm. I did cover Maddie's case, Felicia, but when it started getting to where it was like it was getting overwhelming. Like and the thought of what happened to that little girl, I don't know if I could even handle it. Even knowing. Like it was and I'm a true crime channel and I should be able to do this and not put and be able to keep a clear mind, but when it's such a young girl and it's such a horrific case. And then I always thought about going back to it, but then I know other people are covering it, so I'm just kind of like, I'll let them cover it. But it's a very sad case. That little girl was failed by everybody. But this is going to be Maddie's. I wanted to read this before we ended the stuff with Maddie, but this is her obituary, and it just says here. Madison May Mogen was born on May 25th, 2001 in Eugene, Oregon, and passed away November 13th, 2022 in Moscow, Idaho. Her life from day one has been a blessing to her family and all that surround her. Maddie spent her first 2 years of life in Oregon and then moved with her family back to North Idaho area her parents grew up in. Back in Idaho, she went on to have a wonderful childhood. She attended Winton Elementary and then went on to join the Coeur d'Alene Charter Academy until she made the decision after writing a very decisive letter with Kaylee to their parents of the reasons to enroll in LCHS where she would graduate. To say Maddie is loved by all is an understatement. Maddie was known for her ability to make others smile and laugh with her offbeat and hilarious sense of humor, and it was well known to all who knew her to never let her get hungry. That's where I read it. Okay. So don't let her get and we saw that in the grub truck video. She's mad. She was hungry. Maddie was also admired for her focus and dedication to her future. She excelled in school and all jobs she worked at throughout her high school and college, amassing a network of friends, colleagues, supervisors, and teachers who would not hesitate to give her an amazing reference and remark on how wonderful she was, how hard she had worked, how much she cared. Maddie was so excited to attend the University of Idaho, a little far from home, but not too far. Once there, Maddie made the dean's list every semester. She joined Pi Beta Phi, and met some of her closest friends, all while having her sister Kaylee close by and the love of her life, Jake. We will think of her forever, surrounded by pink, sparkly things that are tiny and cute because that's exactly how we picture Maddie. Maddie is survived by so many loved friends and family, including Karen Laramie, her mother, and whom she shared the greatest bond a mother and daughter can have. Scott Laramie, her beloved dad, Benjamin Mogen, her loving father, who is married to Corey Hatrock, her grandparents, Tim Caulfield, Kim Cheeley, and husband, Tom Paglasati, Mike Mogen and wife, Pamela, and Steve and Connie Laramie, her aunts and uncles, David and Nadine Caulfield, Katie and Aaron Blackshear, Rachel and Jack Rieswing, Matt and Brandy Laramie, Jim and Bridget Laramie, and all of her wonderful cousins. Very big family, it seems like she had. She had a big family. We were all comforted by the fact that Maddie is forever encircled in her grandma Ruth's arms in heaven. All that knew and loved Maddie are invited to attend the celebration of life for the 4 students. We read that. And then also May 25th is Maddie May Day, and it's just basically a day for, you to go out and do an random act of kindness. I cannot speak tonight, guys. It's probably because of my tooth. It's getting to me. But yeah, that random act of kindness. But we should all do that. We should all follow that. And I couldn't imagine still covering Sebastian's case. Is she? I mean, I don't even know. It's not even a case. It's a crapshoot. It's crazy. Felicia, me too. Just found out like over the last year. And I was like, oh, everything makes way more sense now in life, you know? Like the sensory overload issues and the issues that like they're a little bit, they're not issues, they're my personal, they're my issues, but you know. Yeah, I'm done. I'm like, oh, it's crazy. It's crazy over there. Um, I saw that Seth's reaching out to atheist channels. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I don't mean to laugh because I mean I don't mean to laugh, but it's like when is this going to stop, you know? Oh man. See, mine, Felicia, I think that my parents just thought I didn't want to go to school, and that was a lot to, I mean, I did want to stay home and watch Unsolved Mysteries when I was little. I did. Like I'm not gonna lie. I've always liked true crime. I've always been a true crime person. Um, but I always knew there was something like it was more than that. You know what I mean? Like I was always talking in class. I knew I had ADHD. Like when I got older, I was like, I bet you I have that. Then I went and got tested. Of course I do. OCD. I've got it all. Like I'm not all of it. I don't have multiple personalities or something like that. But the little ones, like I feel like I've got like a sprinkle of each, like a sprinkle. But it's enough. It's enough. It's definitely enough. And then I told my mom also my whole life, "Sh you're lucky you're up there." I can't yell at her, but she always would yell at me about, like, not sitting up straight, and I'm like, "I am." And she's like, "No, you're not." And now I found out that I have curves in my back. I'm like, "Y'all were supposed to test me in school for this." It's not about him. It's not. It hasn't been about him since, February 26th. Like, I don't think it was ever about him, and it was never like, it just went downhill. But people will continue to do it to cover, until there's not people in there just shifting from chat to chat. I mean, they're just shifting around all day, right? Like, today was awesome. You could just stay in one chat. Granny was live for 9 hours. If you wanted to watch content, you know what I mean? That was like that kind of stuff. You had 9 hours. Just you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, I listened to a lot of it. I was like, "Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness." And Vincent was probably thinking I'm nuts because he was off today. He was probably like, what is she listening to?" Oh, really? I wonder if it's because, like, autism, like, wasn't as big, you know what I mean? It wasn't as heard of? I'll see, Vincent would say definitely that she's something. Because he cuts up my food for me still. I know I'm a baby. Don't no one clip that. I said no one clip that. But no, he does because I'm weird about food. And he knows I'm like a kid and he knows it. He knows what I'm gonna like, what I'm not gonna like, and he just he just does it. I'm so thankful for him, y'all. Oh my gosh, I'm so thankful. I would be lost. I really I think. It started a movement, Karina. Yeah, it has. Well, I don't do the things that they're saying that he does. Like I don't think, well, I mean, I guess I sometimes look off into just and stare, but I don't really. Like I don't just stare at people. I don't make people feel uncomfortable. Like if me and you were to meet in person, like I wouldn't be in your personal space. I have a one hand, one arm rule. I'm cool with I'm not gonna be in your personal space. But I think everybody is different. I mean, that has like and people that have autism, they all have different things are like I don't want to call them issues, but things that they feel like are wrong. With them. Like I feel like I need structure and balance, and I need to like do things the night before to get ready for the next day. That's just like I need structure and balance. Yeah, I think he has Asperger's, they were saying, but they don't use that like Asperger's anymore is like the term. I'm brutally honest too. I am too, yeah. Yeah. Vincent gets that a lot. Yeah, there's different levels. Like I was telling you guys that one night, the best way I could think of it is like the oven knobs. Someone like told me about like, like knobs on an oven, they might be turned up at different temperatures, like for me compared to someone else. And whenever like that they did that, I was like, that made so much sense. Me too. I love routine. Ever since my car accident was really that's when I really started the routine thing, and it's really helped me. I pick out my outfit every night before I go to bed for the next day. Um, like today I was like, Vincent, should I wear this shirt or this shirt? It was literally this shirt or a tan colored version of this shirt. And I was like, I'm wearing green pants. Which color? He's like, maybe the tan one. But it just I just have to do it. But I do thrive off of it. And if anyone's ever rushing to work and in the morning and stuff like that, get your clothes ready the night before. I know I sound like a mother saying that, but I'm telling y'all, it works. Yes, Wolf, I do. I often do that. And when she stands up to talk, I often get sad. I'm like, oh, here we go. Anne's talking because it's going to be a while, But that other lady's doing an awful lot of talking too. That sounds like me, Felicia. I'm supposed to wear glasses too, but I don't like wearing them. And my clothes have to be like a certain material. It's bad texture of food. Everything. Sensory is very high on my list of things. Like it's crazy. But thanks for talking to me tonight about sensory issues and autism. I always like the end of our lives. We always just talk about whatever. So, that's just what we do here. So if you're still here, that's what we do at the end of the live. We'll talk about whatever. It's better than doing it at the beginning, I try to get to the content in the beginning, but we always like to talk at the end of the live. And I do want to start doing some like streams on my second channel. I want to do so I was going to do more pre-recordeds over there, which I am. But I'm going to start off with just continuing to do my lives and just, get us kind of settled over there, get this channel settled over here. And then we'll start smashing them both out. So, hey, just Debbie, you're so late. You're going to have to go back and watch it. It was really good live, though. It was a great live. Thanks, DM. I appreciate that. And thank you guys all for being here. And thanks for becoming members or gifting memberships or sending in super stickers and all that stuff. You guys did like way above. And I appreciate you guys so much for that. And I can't believe people have been members for a year in here. Look at that. Karina, we had Southernish had a membership. Yeah, or 7 months. Look at that. That's a while. Like, man, y'all have been with me for a long time. You're right. I think that this chat's really, really been with me for a really long time. DM, when am I bringing Vince on panel? Whenever he will, when I can get him to come on panel. Hey, Vicky, I think I can get him. I think I can at least get him to sit in the chair, right? Okay, so today I try to give him we're watching this thing. I'm watching this thing about Bryan Kohberger and the balaclava. And I'm like, Vincent, I'm like, can we go to Dick's and will you put one on? And can I just show your eyebrows? And he just looked at me like, I was like, okay, then fine. I'll put the balaclava on. You take the picture of me wearing it. So I'm going to go to Dick's tomorrow and be like, hey, I'm going to get one so you guys can see what they are, what it looks like. But thanks for being here tonight. I appreciate it. I know, right, Squeaky? Squeaky, you're funny. You're so funny. Thank you guys for being here tonight, though. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ladybug and Mary Beth, for being the best mods on YouTube. You guys are so good at welcoming people in and just doing the thing and just being here. Just being here. I mean, shoot, like you're here. Y'all are here with me every night. I love that. And if you ever need a break, take it. Take it. Just make sure if it's longer than a day or two, just let us know that you're taking a break so we don't, come send the forces out for you. But that's just because we care. But thank you guys for being here tonight. I'll be back on tomorrow. It'll probably be tomorrow evening. I'm not sure if I'll do a day live or not because I'm going to be going to the dentist really super early. But I'll make sure that I'll tell you guys what happened. They're just going to cement this thing back in and let's not do this again, But I will say I get to see my girl again. I get to see my I got to get a card. So I knew she was leaving, but I didn't realize like my last visit was my last visit with her. And so I had a thank you card for her but it was in a different purse, of course. It was in a bigger planner. So now I need to write her a second thank you card because I threw the other one away thinking I wasn't going to ever see her again. So she's going off to school to be surgical dentist. Pretty cool. I might need her, you never know. But thanks for being here tonight. I appreciate it, guys. I hope you guys had a great Easter. And I hope hopefully you guys have plenty of leftovers for the week for the hubbies to take to work if they need to do that. Or if you need to eat. But thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate it. I'll see you guys all tomorrow on the live. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you then. Bye, guys.
Just like the street lights lit this town like a fire.